these things is not like the others. One of these things doesn't belong. Can you tell which thing is not like the other by the time I finish this song?
Hello guys, Seattle Ring Hunter here, and got a real quick one for you. This is a good one. Everyone is familiar with the Symbios handset dive computer, and one of the biggest things that most people have been having a little bit of an issue with right out of the box is that all it comes with is the bungee. And if we look at the back side, yes, it's got some holes for putting the bungee through it, but unlike what we traditionally dive on a lot of our computers is the bungee straps with the pinch clips, so you can get them over different size sleeves if you have dry suit, wetsuit, no, just basically your arm in warm water if you're out in Hawaii or somewhere in fresh water, warm or ocean. Look at this, just happen to have a nice set of straps. I love to stick that right on the back here. There's no way to do that. How are we going to do that? Well, I got online, and fortunately guys, Narked at 90 actually has a solution, and it didn't take very long to get it either. Allow me to introduce to you the Narked at 90 mounting plate, and it comes with this plate with these two bolts and these two lovely straps. You don't have to do anything else. I'm in Seattle, Washington, and it literally took 3 days to ship it from outside the country and through customs or whatever they did, however they did that. You've got an Allen screw here. It's a 2.5 and the other side is a 2.0. If you want to work two at each end, it's a very small machine screw, but the good thing that they point out is that this is not 3D printed. It is rigid, and it's a piece of Delrin or equivalent that has been really nicely machined. The quality of this is really nice and is super stable after you actually get it mounted to the computer, as we're doing right now. I'm very impressed with it, and I'll say that they did a great job. They got a little cutout here for the battery charging on the back side of the plate, and it just slips in just like that. They actually have their name on it, Narked at 90 on both sides. And just a close up here, if we were to probably put a little bit more light on this, just a little bit, you can see the machining, the edges, everything. It's very compact. It's just it's higher quality than most of the cell phone cases you're buying these days, to be quite honest. It's got a very nice appeal to it. It is very streamlined and small. It doesn't add any bulk or anything, and it's a very solid connection, I must say. So once it gets put on here, it might take you just a few attempts to get the bolts in here. You kind of start with one on one side, and you got to kind of jiggle it around a little bit to get the other one in. But it once it goes in there, that wasn't too bad. Actually, quite easy. We got to get the. It may come in from the other side more easily. We'll see here if we can get. Oh, there's an engagement here and here, here and here. The way that the circles line up, it is machined properly. You gotta push it. There we go. Just gotta play with it a little bit and push them in, and then push them in. So that's the tip on that. You get them to the other side. If you load your 2.5, 2.5 onto the tip of your screwdriver, you have better action to get it in here. And you just tighten it up. You don't need to go too much because it's a nice little machine screw. If you're concerned about these screws falling out and losing your computer, you don't need to be. And if you're really concerned about it, you can get yourself some Loctite Blue, medium strength, and just put a little teensy weensy little dab. Don't get too much on it. That's really not even necessary. You're just gonna go ahead and screw these into where they're just snug. And if you, having two straps is redundancy, and having two pins, if you lose one during a dive, the pin probably wouldn't even back all the way out. Good to make a check on this every once in a while. Just make sure that they're snugged up. It's not even a hinge, it's a fixation, so it's not even moving back and forth. And it couldn't be a better design, and it's really a solid design. It feels like one piece, and it doesn't have any sharp edges that are going to ruin your your laminate on your dry suit or anything. It's just really great. But basically you just thread these through these two loopholes here. It doesn't get much easier than this. this is just an example. Let's get this pushed in here. And you guys get the point. You figure out what works best for you. And after you pull on these a few times and they get wet, everybody knows how they work. They did do a cutout for the battery charging, the magnetic battery block. And it does, if you just put your finger on the bungee a little bit there, you don't even have to take it off. Push it on there and pull the bungee a little bit tighter. I don't recommend you do this too much because you want to keep the integrity of the electrical cable. But yes, it definitely does hold it a little bit better. And you can simply just kind of pulls off real easy.